Good afternoon, beekeepers and bee enthusiasts. How you doing? It's another great day at the farm, and we are hanging out. You know, the other day we made a video about getting prepped for swarm season, so today we thought we'd come at you with, you know, we're pretty much just going to prep a swarm hive. We're going to get a swarm hive ready so you can see how we do it, you know, what's the process of it, and how to get a swarm hive ready to catch a swarm, also known as a swarm trap. We call them swarm hive, but anyway, we're going to prep it. We're going to get it ready. It's going to be a great video, and without further ado, let's break right into it. Okay, so first things first. What kind of container are we looking for when building a swarm hive or prepping a swarm hive? Like, what do bees like when it comes to swarm hives? Well, believe it or not, honeybees actually prefer a space that's about 10 gallons deep. So it can fit about 10 gallons on the inside. And this Lands swarm hive that we have here, it is pretty much about 10 gallons. And another thing that's about 10 gallons of space is a Langstroth deep. So if you use Langstroth hives, you can get a Langstroth deep, you know, and just that one deep, that's like a great container for catching bees and swarms because it's about 10 gallons. So 10 gallons is a good amount of space, and that's what you should look for in a container when catching bees. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing we gotta do is we've got to bait this swarm hive, okay? We have to give it a smell that when scout bees are looking around and they're searching for a new home for the swarm, they come to this and they say, man, that smells good. I like this place. It's going to be a good home. Let's move in. So the kind of bait we use to get this thing ready is, of course, the first thing we use is propolis. Now, to get propolis, you can either get it off of other beehives you have if you have never used beehives before, or you just don't have propolis. You can go to horizontalhive.com. There, Dr. Leah has a great website with all kinds of stuff on learning natural beekeeping and stuff, but he also has things like propolis. And so you take this propolis, this hardened propolis, and you rub it on the inside of this swarm hive like that. Okay? You give it a good, you rub it real good. Especially if it's a brand new swarm hive, you want to rub it real good so it smells in there like propolis. And propolis smells really good. Okay, so give it a good propolis rub down, and it's pretty good to go with that. So, the next thing we want to talk about as far as bait goes is, of course, lemongrass essential oil. So the propolis makes a beehive kind of smell like an old hive, and that's why bees are attracted to it. But the lemongrass essential oil is basically an ingredient that I can't explain the total science of it, but I know that honeybees are very attracted to it. But this stuff is strong. Let me tell you, this stuff is strong. So you don't want to overload your swarm hive with too much lemongrass essential oil. So what I have here is a little quick release tube or slow release tube, I'm sorry. And I got this and the lemongrass essential oil from, again, horizontalhive.com. But I'm going to basically take this, I'm going to put the lemongrass essential oil in here, and then we're going to take this slow release tube and we're going to stick it inside the swarm hive. So let's go ahead and do that now. Hopefully I can get some up in here. And you only want to fill it about halfway. You don't want to, that's what Dr. Leah recommends, and so that's what we do. Alright, so you get it about filled halfway. Just like that, if you can see that. I'm sorry if you can't. Close that top. And then you can just use like a staple or something on the inside to basically slip this in on the inside. You want to put it around near the entrance of the swarm hive. And that's pretty much the best spot. So yeah, cool. Also, I just want to emphasize before moving on, don't put too much lemongrass essential oil in your swarm hive. That little quick or slow release tube that I had, that I filled about halfway. That's about as much as you want to put in there. You don't want to overload it, because if you put too much lemongrass essential oil in there, the bees are going to be scared away from it. So don't overload it, just a little bit. If you don't have a slow release tube, but you do have lemongrass essential oil, what we've done with some of our swarm hives is take a little Ziploc bag and take a paper towel and just spray a little lemongrass essential oil on it, and then put it in the Ziploc bag, put a little hole in it, and lay it on the bottom of the hive, and that does really well. Okay, so now we got our bait in. The last thing we got to do is put our frames in. And one thing that's very important about putting your frames is if you have some comb, some old comb or something kind of like this, if you can put it inside that swarm hive and bees come to this and they already see comb on the inside, they'll be like, whoa, this is the place to be, literally. So you want to get, you know, a good piece of comb on a frame, preferably. You know, in our first year catching swarms, we didn't have comb, so we didn't use it, but it definitely helps if you have comb. So get you a frame of comb, put that in there. And then for the rest of our frames that we have to catch it, I just have an inch strip of wax, as you can see. And that will get them started. As long as your swarm hive is level, you shouldn't have to worry about cross comb. We very rarely get cross comb, but as long as we make sure our swarm hive is level when we hang it, it's good to go. So just an inch strip of wax there, wax foundation, and that's on all of our frames here, so they've got an idea what they're going to be building on when they move in. Cool. So really, it's about as easy as that. You know, you go inside, you make sure you have a container that's 10 gallons deep, you get you some propolis and lemongrass essential oil for bait, and then you put your frames in, and preferably on one of those frames you have some comb, and you've got a perfect home for a new colony of honeybees. And then, you know, we won't get into, you know, how to hang it or everything in this video. This is just simply baiting a box and getting it set. So this box is good to go. The last thing I'll do is take a screw on the front and the back to seal the lid to the container, and it'll be good to go. And I'm very excited. You know, we like to get started early getting ready for swarms, because I'm telling you, swarm season is going to come like that, and it's only for a little while. So you got to be ready to go and have your swarm boxes ready. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, we'll see you soon.